Hey there, it's Jumbled Sunshine. It's day 3 of my miracle morning, and there's a thing that says that the first 10 days of doing this will probably feel unbearable. And I was thinking, well, where's that unbearableness? Because I feel really great the last 2 days. I now know what he was talking about. So here's what happened. Last night we had gathered together as a family. We had scripture study. I was feeling so tired. I was just like, I can't stay awake. So I was sort of up cleaning up at my desk area while the family was reading, just to kind of keep myself awake. And it was about 9:30, getting close to 10. So as soon as we had family prayer, I just made a beeline for my room, and I was just like, I'm gonna crash. I'm not sure what happened because I got into my room, I laid down, I set my alarm, I got all comfy under my covers, and then I just laid there and 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 laid there for seriously like 2 hours. So I ended up, at first I was just laying in silence. Then I turned on a book. I listened to 2 chapters of The Happiness Project. I had gone ahead and bought that from Kindle and added the Audible recording. So I did that. I listened to 2 whole chapters. I was just like, I felt tired, but I couldn't fall asleep. So anyway, after laying there for what seemed like an eternity, I went ahead and turned on another audiobook that I thought might be a little more dull. So I turned on one of those great courses that I had purchased and on Audible. And it's called The Addictive Brain. It's been super interesting. It's all about why our brains are prone to become addicted to things and what actually causes the addiction. And it's quite technical enough that I was like, hey, maybe I can fall asleep to this. But it's also very interesting. So, of course, it ended up not really working. But what I did discover, I was listening to it, is one of the things he had talked about was caffeine. And the way that caffeine actually works, it was quite interesting, but it doesn't actually give you energy itself. But what it does is it blocks this other chemical that helps you to feel tired and helps you to fall asleep. So throughout the day, this other chemical usually gets higher and higher, and it's what causes you to start feeling sleepy. And caffeine actually, I can't remember how it is, but it's like it connects to the receptor that chemical is supposed to connect to, and then it's like it locks and doesn't let the other connector come in, but it doesn't turn the receptor on. So that receptor it normally would make you start having feelings of drowsiness. So I got thinking, and I'm like, well, I didn't drink any soda today that had caffeine in it or anything. And then I remembered I had taken an Excedrin, and I was like, that's it. So I couldn't fall asleep. They were saying in the lecture that by having that chemical disrupted, it's kind of like teaching your body. It tricks your body into thinking that your body hasn't been awake for as long as it has. Your body's tired, but your brain thinks your body isn't tired. So I think that's what was going on, because I definitely was tired, but I couldn't fall asleep. So anyway, it was like 1 o'clock, well, 1:45 by the time I was actually like feeling drowsy. And I was just like giving myself these affirmations like, you're getting plenty of sleep, you'll have this wonderful sleep, and then you'll be able to get up. But I was like, my other half of my brain is like, yeah, right, who are you kidding? You're going to be so tired tomorrow. I pulled out Candy Crush, which has always been my go-to to kind of like listen to an audiobook and sit there playing Candy Crush, and it like makes me sleepy, and then I go to sleep. And it sounds kind of dumb, but sometimes I'd end up staying up way too late because I'd be like, I must pass this level, it's just kind of silly. Talk about the addictive brain, right? So I've been avoiding that game at night ever since I started trying to do the Miracle Morning. So, but what occurred to me was, I've been laying here for like 2.5 hours trying all these other things. Maybe if I just listen to the book and play for a little bit, it'll kind of like trigger, maybe that'll be like a trigger for me, because for a long time I did do that. And so I played it for only 10 minutes, and I was just like, I'm tired. And I'm like, oh good. And I closed it, and I'm just like, I'm going to go to sleep now. And it worked. I finally fell asleep. So I knew that if I just pushed myself and said, I'm going to get up anyway, that I could take a nap after I finished my Miracle Morning. So guess what I'm doing after this vlog? Oh, can't wait. Well, I guess that's it. Let me give you a quick update on my Miracle Morning. So my alarm actually did end up going off a little bit before 6. It was like 5:50, and I broke the rule and I hit snooze, but I only hit it for 10 minutes because I was like, hey, I'm trying to get up at 6, and I didn't even get a good night's sleep, so I'm gonna let myself lay here for 10 minutes. So I did that. And then I just kind of laid there for a while. I didn't actually fall back asleep. I sort of tried to do a little bit of silence and just kind of listening to the room around me and whatever. So I did do that for a little bit. And I'm trying to do a morning prayer during my silence time. So I get credit for silence today. And then I got up, got dressed. Then I went out into the living room or the family room and grabbed my kit. I kind of made a little container with my journal and my my small Chromebook and this little notebook and just some different things that I think that I would need for Miracle Morning, so that it's all together so I can just grab it and head upstairs. And then at 6:20, I was sitting down for breakfast. I did my affirmations. Yay! What I did today, actually, instead of, I don't have any affirmations written down personally yet. But I remembered that in the book I was reading, The Happiness Project, there was this part where she listed, she called them her 12 commandments that she made for herself for her year of her happiness project. And she also had, what'd she call it? Secrets of Adulthood. It's like this list of sayings that to her encapsulated what she wanted to try and accomplish during her happiness project. And even though they're her goals, not mine, I found them quite interesting. So today I read over those and thought about each one a little bit and how it applied to me, which led into me doing my reading, because there was one on the list called Spend Out, and I was like, what's that? I did a search through her book for Spend Out to see what that was. And kind of what it was is she said that she tends to hang on to things and just cling to things and not let them go out into the world. Her point of saying that as one of her 12 commandments was kind of the idea, the way I thought of it from a little more religious perspective, is the idea of cast your bread upon the waters and it comes back to you again. That you can get more fulfillment by giving and letting things go and giving out to the world your energy, your time, your belongings that you're no longer using, and you will get more blessings back for that. In fact, I read recently that people who give to charity actually become more wealthy. And there was all these studies done. It wasn't that they were wealthy so they gave to charity. It really was that because they gave to charity, they ended up becoming wealthy. And there's all sorts of reasons they were coming up with, that maybe giving away somehow, I don't know, something with brain chemicals and whatever. And I was just thinking, they're getting blessings for doing good. That's how it appeared to me. One of their other ideas that I thought was really good was that perhaps by being seen as charitable, others put you into leadership type positions, which in the work field tend to pay more. So anyway, some really interesting ideas. If you are looking for a great charity to give to, I'll go ahead and put in a plug for Choice Humanitarian. My husband works for them. They really do a fantastic job. You can look at their organization at choicehumanitarian.org. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. What makes them different is their model of self-development, and they actually go into these villages and help create organizations of leadership and come up with their own solutions to solve the problems of their village, rather than just going in and saying, hey, this is the right thing for your village. I mean, what do we know? We don't live there. We need to see what they think and just helping them to develop ideas and solutions. And then Choice will help them with financial aspect. They are usually required, well, I think always required, to come up with a certain amount of the capital themselves, like the investment. And they give them different ways that they can do that. And then they have a committee that's running the project so that everything is done at the local level and it's sustainable because they've developed it and then they're able to sustain it. And it's just created incredible success stories in Nepal and Peru. And right now they're implementing the Nepal success story into Ecuador. They also work in Mexico and Guatemala and Kenya. So I think I got all the countries there. They also have a small presence in Vietnam. So some really cool things going on at choicehumanitarian.org. So check them out. I would highly recommend them as a wonderful organization to give to. Okay, plug is over. After I finished my reading, it was about 6:55. So at this point, it's still only been an hour since I woke up. I did some visualizations, and I haven't really done those before. So I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? So I just closed my eyes, and I wanted to fall asleep. As soon as I closed my eyes, I was like, I'm going to fall asleep. And I'm like, no, don't fall asleep. Got to stay up at least till my youngest son leaves. And so I did my visualizations. I thought through my day, kind of pictured myself finishing my miracle morning, going down and taking a nap, then getting up, getting some work done, having a successful day, spending time with my family after school, and then going to my obligations this evening. And just kind of thought through all of that. And it was nice. I was like, okay, if my day runs like that, I can do this. By then it was about 7:10, and my oldest school-age son, who's in high school, came walking in with like his music blaring, and I'm like, well, who are you listening to? And he said AC/DC, and I was like, I thought it sounded familiar from the old days for me. I was a teenager of the 80s. And then so I visited with him, had a really good visit about music and some things that he's doing on his tuba, and that was really good. So by then it was about 7:22, and I finally, hey Joe, I'm just vlogging here, so ignore me.
You're vlogging?
I'm vlogging. So now you're on my vlog. Anyway. Okay, so by then it was 7:22, and I was so excited because I knew that I had at least 20 minutes before my youngest son woke up. He usually gets up about 7:45, so I'm like, I can do my scribe time, and I've been looking forward to that. It's one of the main things that attracted me to doing a miracle morning. So I pulled out my little Chromebook and opened up to journal.com, JRNL.com, and also 750words.com. And, I logged into 750 words, and it's like, welcome back, Jumbled Sunshine. And I'm just like, yes, I'm back. And it was funny, on journal.com, my last entry literally was like a year ago. It was like January 19th of 2016. I was like, oh, wow, that's awful. I think I wrote some more than that this year, but it was all on 750words.com. And what I try to do is kind of free write on 750 words, and then I'll copy and paste whatever I want to be kind of more permanent over to journal.com. But I wasn't doing it very consistently, so a lot of it's over there, and I'm like, oh, on another day I'll do that. But yeah, right, that's one of those 12 commandments. It's like, just do it now, especially if something is going to take less than a minute or 5 minutes. Just do it right now. Don't put it off. It won't get easier on another day. So I'm trying to learn that. Anyway, so I started scribing, and I was writing about how what I want to do is use part of my Miracle Morning time to get the 750 word entries over into journal.com, just kind of get stuff gathered into there from 2016 so I have a record of the year. Okay, by then it was 7:53 and my youngest was up and about. I was so excited because I'd basically done everything on the Miracle Morning list except for exercise. And since I did a lot of exercise yesterday, I was like, if I don't get to that today, it's okay, because I'm going to have a list like probably longer than what I can actually do during Miracle Morning. And then every day I'll kind of pick and choose from this list. So I was super happy, gave myself a smiley face in my log here. And then I visited with my youngest, sent him out the door at 8:15. And then I spent a few minutes doing a review of my roles and goals, which I hadn't looked at for months, probably. So I reviewed over those and updated them a little bit. Yay me. And I set some goals for tomorrow to exercise and to review some new things to add to my Miracle Morning checklist, just to keep things in mind, because I'm really good at forgetting things that I'm supposed to be doing and then letting the ball drop, and then I feel really bad. And so I think this Miracle Morning, if I keep consistent with it, will help me to not do that as much. So that was it. Oh, and at the end, I was just like, I can do some exercise. So I was like, I can just do a little bit. So right as I finished up before I vlogged, I just did like the child's pose from yoga for a little bit to stretch. And I stretched out my shoulder and my back that have been bothering me. And I at least did my 5 minutes on that. So what I accomplished today was silence, affirmations, reading, visualization, scribe time, roles and goals review, and exercise. I would say that's turning into a successful thing. So here we are, day 3, still keeping up with it. We'll see how this goes. I'm committed to being back here again tomorrow. Have a great day. This is Jumbled Sunshine. See you tomorrow.